Are they taking us back to the city, Dancer?
I don't know, but I think we're heading in a different direction. The tunnel to the city slopes up, and this one seems to be descending.
You're right. I remember now. It was uphill. So where do you think they're taking us?
I wish I knew. Maybe they've got Billy and Jane.
You think they caught them?
I hope so. It's better than having them wander around alone in these tunnels.
Jane, I hear something.
I heard it a moment ago.
You think it's the dusters?
It sounds different. Almost like a growl. You don't suppose it's some kind of an animal?
What kind of an animal would be down here in the darkness?
I don't know. Maybe it's some kind of a mole or something.
I hope whatever it is, not as hungry as I am. Boy, I could eat a whole cow all by myself.
And I could drink a gallon of water.
That noise is coming closer. You can't see anything, can you?
No, I can hear it. I can't see it.
Boy, it's awful close.
Billy, I'm afraid.
Billy, I can get out of this hole.
Don't worry, Billy. I'll stay with you.
I know, but whatever it is, if it attacks us, I could at least put up a fight. Down here with my legs the way it is, I could only sit and wait. But you don't have to sit here, Jane. Why don't you run?
I won't run, Billy. I'm going to sit with you.
But, Jane, it's getting closer, and it sounds like danger.
Billy, what can it be? Where are we going?
I'm sure they're not taking us to the cave city now. We should have reached there long ago. They're certainly in an awful hurry.
Maybe the rescue party from Venus is after them.
I'm afraid that's not the answer, Pat. Even if they knew what happened to us, I'm sure they could never find this place. It's been hidden here beneath the surface of Venus for hundreds of years.
Now they're pushing us even faster. There must be something up.
Pat, I think I hear something up ahead.
It sounds like Jane's voice.
Jane! Jane, can you hear me?
Help! Help! Somebody help!
That's Jane, all right. They must be in some kind of trouble. Come on. It's me, Jane. Dantro, don't worry. We're coming.
Jane, Billy, are you all right?
What? Oh, Dantro, run!
Jane, what's happening?
It's some kind of an animal. It's right here.
Yes, I can hear it.
Dantro, going at your razor.
Don't worry, Billy. I won't let it hurt you, whatever it is.
What are you going to do?
Well, if I can only find a rock, perhaps I can drive it off.
Wait.
What's the matter?
The dusters are pushing by us. Do you think they're going to attack us?
Running away, I think.
It is. Listen to its growls are getting fainter. Oh, thank goodness we were in time. Where's Billy?
Right down here, Pat.
Well, what are you doing?
I'm just sitting here.
Well, come out.
I can't. I fell in this hole. And I think my leg is broken.
We'll get you out somehow.
For the moment, the four members of the League of Planets group are together. Why did the Dusters reunite them? What is their motive? We'll be back in a moment, but first, here is a message the Planet Man wants you to hear. Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Dantro, the Planet Man. The Planet Man. The Planet Man. Planet Man. This is the fascinating story of Dantro, the Planet Man, troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization, the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, you will find Dantro, the Planet Man, fighting for fair play. In a moment, the Planet Man. You will remember that Billy and Jane Darrow had just been saved from an unseen monster in the darkness of the hidden caves of the Venusian Dusters. Pat Darrow and Planet Man, who were guided to the kids by the Dusters, are hard put to understand this act by their captors.
I don't get it at all. First the Dusters take us prisoners, and now they save Billy and Jane. It's just doesn't make sense.
I know how you feel, Pat. I wish I knew the answer.
It was funny, too, the way the thing, whatever it was, ran away the minute they came. Did you notice how cold and scary it got right then? Gosh, you're right. Like something awful was going to happen. It's the strangest feeling. Didn't you feel it, Danzo?
No, I didn't, Billy. Can you tell me something more? It may be important.
It felt like a cold, frightening wind. Only it wasn't a wind. It was inside, sort of. And just before that, before I could hear you and Pat coming, I knew you were coming. Me too. But in all the excitement, I forgot that part.
Well, what's this all about, Danto? Do you really think it's important?
It may be very important. In fact, it may explain a lot of things about the Dusters that have been so mysterious.
You really think so? Why?
Now, try to remember this, Billy. You too, Jane. Did you ever feel anything when the Dusters were around before?
You mean like happy or friendly or anything?
Exactly.
Well, yes, I think so. Billy, you remember when we were standing looking at their ruler and he kept staring at us? Didn't you feel sort of warm and friendly? Good, all over. Sure, but I thought it was my imagination. What was it, Danto?
Well, it's only guessing, of course, but it may mean that the Dusters are telepathic.
Telepathic? You mean they're mind reading?
It frightens me a little.
Oh, it's nothing to worry about. Kids, would you be willing to try an experiment?
You can count on us, Danto. What do you want us to do?
Listen closely. Both of you think as hard as you can about the Dusters. Think about being their friends and about their coming here and getting us. Concentrate on it as hard as you can. Concentrate. You're friends. You like them. You want them to come for us. Friends. Come for us. Come for us. Come for us.
Danto! Danto, they're coming. I can hear them. They're coming.
What do we do now?
I can't see them, but from the sound, there must be 100 Dusters there.
Quiet, please, Billy Jane. Just relax and try to keep your mind blank. Do you sense anything? Any thoughts that seem different?
No. Nothing. Wait. Yes. Yes. Wait, it's almost like a voice inside my head. Only no words. More like pictures. Me too. They're telling us that we're their friends. They mean us no harm. They knew we were in trouble and came to get us in the dust buggy.
Well, ask them why they'd never tried to contact anyone else, why they'd kept their civilization hidden. But think it, don't say it.
I am. Gosh, this gets easier all the time. They say that no one but a duster has ever been able to sense their thoughts before. They consider the Venusians savages. Say, can you imagine that? And the Venusians thought the dusters were a legend. They want us to come with them to see their leader again. Oh, Danto, this is so exciting.
I tell you, Tess, it's impossible. They've got to be here in the dust buggy. Where could they go? How could they leave?
Shut up for a minute, let me think. 36 hours ago, I saw them stop. I made sure of it before I rejoined the convoy. They couldn't have gotten the buggy started. It hasn't been moved or it'd leave tracks.
And they couldn't cross the desert without dust walkers. They just think...
There were no dust walkers. Didn't I inspect it in Spain myself when I sabotaged it? Oh, someone must have come along and gotten them.
Well, perhaps the rescue party from Venusport beat us here, huh?
No, I sent them off in the wrong direction.
But who? Out here? There's no one here. It's impossible.
Impossible or not, it happened, and we must find them. Our orders were to see to it that the Earth people and Planet Man do not leave the desert alive. Those orders shall be carried out. We must look for tracks.
There were some funny marks in the dust over that way, but not like anything I've ever seen.
Where, you stupid fool? You mean to tell me that you knew they were there and didn't say so? Come on.
Where are we going?
After them. That's why we're here. It's just hurry. Thanks to your stupidity, we've lost valuable time already.
Are we going to walk?
No, we'll take the flyer. But stay close to the ground and go slowly. If we lose these tracks, we'll never find Planet Man and the others. Oh, how I'm itching to catch up with them. If it were not for their meddling, Noki would be ruler of Venus. It was their interference that brought defeat to Marston. But it's not too late. No, it's not too late.
Noki and Baka, the two disciples of Marston who sabotaged Danto's dust buggy, are surprised not to find their would-be prisoners. Is it too late for Noki? Can he and Baka find our friends? We'll be back in a moment, so level off. As we return to the Venus dust world, we find our friend Danto, Pat, and the kids Billy and James being entertained by their new friends, the Dusters, with whom Billy and Jane have learned to communicate by mental telepathy.
Guys, we're different from the last time we were here. Look at the fuss they're making over us. They can really dance.
Well, I think it's amazing the way they keep in step without any music.
Oh, they have music. You see those men over there? They're musicians. They speak different notes and everybody gets them. Now they're all singing. Billy, maybe if we try, we can amplify it so that Pat and Danto can hear.
Yes, kids, try it.
Keep it up, kids. I think it's working.
That's incredible. Incredible. And you two are actually amplifying the Dusters' thoughts so Pat and I can get them.
But I can't understand why the kids are telepathic and we aren't.
The leader explained it to us. It's got something to do with our being immersed and being so young. You must have had it when you were younger, Pat, but you grew out of it before you learned how to use it.
Yes, I suspected that. But let's listen to the music for a moment.
Where could they be going? We've been following these strange trails for miles across the desert. There's nothing this way but thousands of miles of dust.
Be quiet and do as you're told. They can't be far off. We've been flying where they walked. Wherever they're headed, we'll find them, and then I'll notify our friends. One atom bomb, and it'll be over.
Wait, up there ahead. The tracks disappear.
Right.
But how can they just disappear?
Stop talking and land the flyer.
Yes, Noki, I meant no harm. I just wondered
You
if...
wondered too much. Remember, your life means nothing to me. I've tolerated you only because you know this desert, but don't push me too far. Now, let's look more closely at these disappearing tracks. You see? A tunnel into the ground. We're getting close.
Shall I notify our friends and have them send the ship to bomb this tunnel?
Not yet. We must be certain.
Surely you don't mean to go down into that hole?
Follow me.
I don't like it at all. It's dangerous going down into this tunnel in the dark.
What are you afraid of? You found Planet Man's ray gun. You know they're not armed.
But that still doesn't explain those tracks. Or why they lead down into this tunnel. Who knows what made them? I tell you, it's dangerous.
Enough. Why did they give me such a stupid coward? I would do better alone. Shine that light up ahead and move along. My ray gun is ready even for Dusters. If I hear another word, I'll use it first on you.
Don't. Point that the other way. I'm going.
That's better. It can't be very far. We've walked a long way into this tunnel already.
We must be hundreds of feet down.
Soon the Planet Man and the Earth people will be eliminated, and Marston's defeat will be avenged. And the League will not dare accept Earth as a member. Hurry up, Baka. We've work to do.
Billy, ask him why the Dusters consider the Venusians savages. By the way, what's his name?
His name is Manu. He says it means mind leader. Manu says that they have watched the Venusians for centuries and never been able to detect any signs of their thoughts. To them, thought projection is part of intelligent life.
But does he know the Venusians consider the Dusters a myth?
Manu suggests that Jane and I try to amplify his thoughts and yours so that you can communicate with each other directly. He sensed your last question. We will try to answer it.
Yes, we know that the Venusians doubt our existence. We have kept ourselves hidden from them deliberately, for we can learn nothing from them. My people are few, their wants are simple, and they are kept content to stay here in our cave city where they have everything they need.
Is this the only city on Venus where there are Dusters?
Danto! One of the guards in the tunnel that leads to the city has just sent a message that some surface people have discovered the entrance to the city and they're on their way.
Can you tell who they are? It must be the rescue party from Venusport. Somehow they must have discovered where we were.
No, he doesn't know who they are. But I don't think it can be a rescue party, for he says they act like hunters. He fears they're our enemies.
Ask him if they're armed.
Yes, he says that they're carrying ray guns.
Anu, we must have arms or weapons of some sort.
We have no weapons as the kind you know, but have no fear. We are prepared in ways that will surprise you and your enemies, if these so prove to be.
What are these ways of preparation for oncoming danger of which Manu speaks? Can they match a material weapon like a ray gun? We'll be back in a moment, but first, here is a message the Planet Man wants you to hear. Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Dan Troll, the Planet Man. The Planet Man. The Planet Man. This is the fascinating story of Dan Troll, the Planet Man, troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization, the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, you will find Dan Troll, the Planet Man, fighting for fair play. In a moment, the Planet Man. As you remember, Billy, Jane, Pat Darrow, and Planet Man were with the Dusters in their hidden cave city beneath the dust deserts of Venus when word reached them that their enemies were on their way. Manu, leader of the Dusters, assured them that he would deal with the intruders. With Billy and Jane amplifying Manu's thoughts, he and Danto are able to converse telepathically.
Do not be alarmed, Planet Man. Whoever these intruders are, we shall render them harmless in ways that only we understand.
But how do you know, Manu, these intruders are enemies?
While we cannot read the thoughts of the Venusians, we can, however, sense their feelings. All creatures emanate radiations which betray their emotions. Even at a distance, I can sense that these men are bent on an evil errand, that they mean you harm. They're entering this building.
Here they come. Be careful, Danzo. They have ray guns.
How many of you move? I'll blast you to cinders.
Who are you? What do you want?
You want to know who I am? My name is Noki. If you and your friends here hadn't interfered, Marston would have conquered the solar system, and I might be the ruler of Venus.
Ask them how they got here.
Don't interrupt me. What's the difference how they got here? We have them, and that's all that matters.
But these are Dusters, and they're city. Look at it. Perhaps they have men hidden with weapons.
Oh, I told you to be silent. You speak of weapons. What weapons could these beasts have to stand against our ray guns? Look at them. A little better than animals. Don't concern yourself with matters you don't understand.
What do you intend to do?
Intend? You speak of intend. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to finish what Marston could not. Eliminate you and your friends. Bucker, are you ready?
I still don't like it. They're too calm. They must have some trick up their sleeves. How could they be so calm in the face of our guns?
This is not the time for discussion. You take care of the children. I'll personally attend to Planet Man and the girl. Now, Planet Man. Bucker, your ray gun is locked. Locked.
Noki, something's wrong with my ray gun. I can't pull the trigger.
Noki, your hand is frozen. Mine, too. But my Adam's sword will do as well. What is this? Some trick. I can't move my hand. Noki, you are paralyzed.
I can't move at all.
Well, do you no good to try. You might as well stop. You'll not be able to move until we're ready to let you move.
I told you, Noki. I told you they were too calm.
Be quiet, you fool. What have you done to us, Planet Man? What trick have you played?
This is no trick, Noki. You made just one mistake. You thought the Dusters were stupid animals. They're far from that. It's their power of thought that holds you in its grip.
I might have known you'd hide behind someone else. The great Planet Man, using the black magic of a tribal beast. Are you afraid to stand alone?
Don't listen to him, Danzo. He's trying to get you angry.
Sure, now he's complaining. A few minutes ago when he thought his ray gun gave him the upper hand, he sang a different song.
Tricks will do you no good, Noki. You're caught and you know it. Why not tell us who your fellow traitors are?
If I tell you,
Will you let me free?
After they've been captured, as far as I'm concerned, you may do as you please.
Well, then, first have your friends release me from this magic that holds me motionless.
Tell Manu to let him go, Billy.
You're not gonna trust him, Dantro. I'm sure he's planning to pull something.
I'm not afraid of him, Billy.
Okay, you're the boy. Be careful.
Noki, you are free. Free. Free.
Now, Noki, you're free to move.
Look out, Dantro.
You couldn't trust him. Let it go. Let him Planet Man. Manu, paralyze him again.
No, Billy, no. I want to teach this traitor a lesson once and for all.
Be careful.
Let me up. Let me up.
Have you had enough, Noki? Now talk. Tell me who put you up to this.
You can't make me talk. Kill me if you like, but my lips are sealed.
You, what's your name? Speak up before I...
My name is Backer. And I didn't want to come, but he made me.
That's no excuse.
Listen, I told you he made me come. He would have killed me if I refused.
How'd you meet him?
I was sent to him.
By whom?
Someone at Venus-Port.
Did you know who it was?
Just the messenger who told me to meet Noki at the field. He said he was from the Minister of Security.
What? The Minister of Security? Is it possible that he's the leader of these traitors? You, Noki, is this true?
I'll tell you, but it'll do you no good now to know. Yes, our leader is the security minister. But by the time you get back to Venusport, if you do, the knowledge will do you no good.
What do you mean by that?
Simply that in 24 hours, Venusport will no longer exist. It will be destroyed, and with it, the government of Venus.
How do you know this?
The signal for our men to move was to be my message that you and the Earth people had been eliminated. But the deadline for that message is tomorrow at sunset. If they don't hear from me by then, they'll act.
We must contact Venusport at once. Billy, ask Manu if they have a communicator.
Manu says there's no communicator, for they don't need one since they can communicate to their people by thought alone.
Baka, how'd you get here?
We came on a jeep
Where is it?
at the entrance to the tunnel.
Come, let's go to it immediately.
Save your time. It won't do you no good.
What do you mean?
I set a time bomb before I left. By now, it has been blown to ashes. I knew that if we didn't return to it by now, we would never return.
We must get to Venusport somehow.
Manu says he'll give you guides.
Very well, then we'll leave at once.
But it'll take us days to cross the dust desert to Venusport.
I'm hoping that the rescue parties will be searching for us and that one of them will spot us and land. We must take the chance.
Can our friends save Venusport and the government of Venus from a treacherous plot of Marston conspirators? Will Dantro's hope of a rescue party showing up come true? We'll be back in a moment. So, level up. When we left Dantro and his Earth friends, they had departed from the city of Venusian dusters and were trudging over the dust in the hope of being picked up by a rescue crew. They had to warn the government of Venus of Noki's plot to destroy Venusport.
After spending an hour on these dust walkers, I'll almost settle for being tied up and carried again.
Now you can appreciate the kind of feet the dusters have. Look how easy it is for them to walk.
It's amazing the way their feet are built. Almost like an umbrella. They open them and close them and the webbing between their toes like a duck.
Do you really think there's a chance that the rescue party will see us?
I hope so. Even though our friend Noki and his cohort sent them on a false trail, by now they know it. You and Billy and Jane are much too important to leave wandering around in the desert.
I can't wait till we get to Venusport and tell them about the dusters.
Well, I'm glad some of them are coming back with us. I'm afraid the Venusians would never believe what happened otherwise.
Wait till they see a few of the things the dusters can do. They'll believe anything.
But how will they communicate with each other? The dusters can't speak, and the Venusians aren't telepathic like Billy and me, and we don't want to stay here for the rest of our lives.
Well, that will be their first joint project. All you and Billy have to do is help them to understand each other's problems. I'm sure that working together, they can devise some way of communicating.
I think I hear the sound of death.
You're right, Pat. Probably the search party we've been hoping for.
I can see them now coming over that dune. Hey, here we are, over here.
Wait. Billy, I wish you hadn't done that.
Why? What's wrong? Why, I'm sure they see us.
But I'm not absolutely certain that they're our friends. Noki's gang is looking for us, too.
Gosh, I forgot. Oh, maybe they didn't see me.
I'm afraid they did, Billy. I hope they're the right ones.
Well, we'll soon find out. Here they come.
What happened? They started to come down, and now they're just hovering there.
Well, they're just looking us over.
It's like they're going away, see?
No, they're spreading out. I'm afraid it's not the search party we expected.
They're coming down all around us.
They're surrounding us. Billy, you better tell the dusters we're in for trouble.
They know it already. easy, Dan, until they see not to worry. They think they can protect us.
I should be used to it by now. But I still can't believe that the Dusters can build a force screen strong enough to withstand the ray gun with nothing but the power of their minds.
Screen on. Screen on.
It's hard to believe, all right, Pat. Shows how much we have to learn.
May not be as good as you think, Danto. The Dusters say that they can't hold the screen long. Their energy is limited, and there are so many guns firing at us.
I was afraid of that.
I only wish the rescue party would come.
Maybe your wish is granted before you finish it, Zane. Look over there.
That's what I call perfect timing. You're right, Pat. Those jets are ours. I know by the insignia on the wing.
Boy, look at them. There must be 20 of them. These guys won't last long against that lot.
Let's keep down just to be safe, Billy, and tell the Dusters not to drop the screen yet.
Okay, they'll hold it for a while longer. So good thing that rescue party came when they did.
Well, why don't they surrender? That rescue party has them outnumbered 4-1. They haven't a chance.
Like all fanatics, Pat, they're a little mad. The only way to stop them is to burn them down.
Only few of them left, but none of them are surrendering.
I'm happy we can take prisoners back to Venusport with us to prove to the president the danger he's in. I guess you can tell the Dusters to drop the screen now. It looks like the battle's over. Let's get to Venusport.
On to Venusport with the Venus Jet Rescue Force. Is Danto sure of what he wants to prove to the Venusian president about the Minister of Security? Has Baca just misled Danto? We'll be back in a moment. But first, here is a message the Planet Man wants you to hear. Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Danto, the Planet Man. The Planet Man. The Planet Man. This is the fascinating story of Danto, the Planet Man, troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization, the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, you will find Danto, the Planet Man, fighting for fair play. In a moment, the Planet Man. You'll remember that Planet Man and the Earth people were rescued from the Venusian traitors in the nick of time. Knowing that Tuma, Venusian Minister of Security, is the leader of the plot, Planet Man rushes back to Venusport to warn the President, whom they are now about to see.
All right, Planet Man. The President will see you now.
Thank you. Come, Pat, I want you to back up my story about the Minister of Security. Tuma is one of the most important men on Venus, and it's going to be hard to make the President believe he's a traitor. Sir, I know how busy you are, and I'm sorry I had to insist upon seeing you, but this is a matter of the greatest importance.
It's quite all right, Planet Man. Incidentally, I want to apologize for what happened. You may be assured it will not happen again. The Minister of Security has personally guaranteed to have you protected for the rest of your stay here on Venus. And you may rest assured that you are in safe hands.
I wish that were true.
What do you mean?
Well, that's just why we came, sir. The traitors we captured in the city of the Dusters revealed that the Minister of Security was the leader of their movement here on Venus.
Oh, come, Planet Man. Surely you don't expect me to believe that Tuma is tied up with these traitors. Why, I've known him for years. I would trust him with my life. In fact, I do. It's his responsibility to guard this building and the members of the government themselves.
What better place for a traitor to be? And what's more, we understand that they plan to destroy Venusport.
I realize you wouldn't tell me these things unless you were sure of them. And I know you too well to think you would make such charges unless you were certain of the truth. And yet I can't proceed against Tuma without absolute proof.
I have an idea that might prove the point.
I'll do anything you suggest. Anything that will prove the truth of your accusations. But you come to me with evidence from the mouths of confessed traitors, and I can't take their word against the honor of a trusted friend. Shall I call the minister in here and confront him with your charges?
Oh, no. That will be the worst thing to do. Would only warn him in advance.
And what is your plan?
Will you detail a fast jet and a squad of men to me?
The entire Space Force of Venus, if you wish it.
No, just 5 men and a jet will be enough. If I can't succeed with them, a fleet wouldn't help me anymore. Thank you, Mr. President.
Danto, what are you going to do?
You remember Baca?
He was one of the two who invaded the cave city.
Remember, he said that a messenger came to him sent by the Minister of Security.
And that's what he said.
If I can get him to cooperate, we may be able to force Puma to betray himself. But first, I must get him back here to Venusport.
How long has Danto been gone, Mr. President?
3 hours.
He should be back by now, Mr. President, shouldn't he?
If he succeeded.
Oh, Danto.
Baca has agreed to cooperate. Have I permission to proceed with my plan, Mr. President?
By all means.
You see, Pat, no one knows that Baca and Noki were captured or revealed the fact that the minister was a traitor. Baca has agreed, with a little help from Manu, to help us. If we can make the minister think they're alone together and have the president overhear the conversation, he'll have to believe what we said.
It sounds fine, but how are you going to do it?
There's a spy mic hidden in the president's office. The minister will never suspect that he can be overheard. He himself inspects the room regularly to be sure that it's safe. I don't even want the president himself to know for fear he'd unconsciously look toward the microphone and give the whole show away.
I still don't know what you're going to do.
I'm going to have the president send for the minister, Tuma. And then I'll bring in Baca and say that I've just taken him prisoner. Then I'll ask the president to come with me and leave the two of them alone. We can listen from the next room.
It sounds awful tricky to me. Are you sure you can trust Baca?
I think so, but we've no choice. There's nothing else we can do. Tuma should be with the president by now.
Toma, I've already apologized to Planet Man and the people from Earth for our failure to protect them. It must not happen again.
I give my word, Mr. President, that I'll personally attend to their safety for the rest of their stay on Venus.
I hope I can depend on you.
Have I ever failed you?
No, but I can't help wondering how the Earth people's dust buggy was so easily lost in the desert. Surely you must have given orders to the convoy to watch them at all times.
I've already explained, Mr. President. Someone in the convoy betrayed us. Even now my men are checking. I'll know soon who the traitor was. You may be assured he'll never have another opportunity.
Tuma seems pretty sure of himself. Is he the real traitor, or has Danto been misled by Baca in a move to discredit the goodwill party in the eyes of the Venusians? We'll be back in a moment. So, level up. When we left Danto the Planet Man, he was attempting to prove to the President of Venus that the Venusian Minister of Security was a traitor. A trap has been set for Tuma the Minister. As we find them now, the President is in his office waiting for Danto's next move.
Planet Man is here to see you, Mr. President.
Send him in. I presume you've met the Minister of Security, Tuma.
Yes, how do you do, sir?
I'm humiliated by what has happened, Planet Man. When I catch those who are responsible, I'll be sure that they never have an opportunity again.
Well, I think I've captured one of them myself.
Where is he?
Outside. Shall I bring him in?
By all means, let's get to the bottom of this foul business.
Wait. I'd like to ask a few questions first. I'm curious as to where and how you found this man.
Well, of course. Anything you want to know.
Did you capture him here in the city?
No, in the desert.
In the desert? Where?
When we were attacked.
But I thought all those men were killed. That's what I was told.
No, that was a mistake. They weren't all killed. The one that we got pretended to be dead, but someone saw him move.
How is it all this was not reported to him?
Well, it was discovered after the party that brought us back left. Actually, had it not been for the dusters, he might have gotten away, but they detected the presence of a life force among those who were destroyed.
Why have you brought him here?
I thought you might want to question him personally. The president told me that I would meet you here.
All right, bring him in.
Right away. Barker, come in here.
Yes, sir.
Here's the man. He's a pretty specimen.
A typical traitor if I ever saw one.
What are you going to do with me? I told you it wasn't my fault. I didn't know what they were doing. They told me that these were outlaws we were hunting.
Silence. Speak when you're spoken to. Planet Man, I can see that this is the kind of case we in the Department of Security know very well how to deal with. He isn't worth your time or attention. Let me handle him.
Please, I tell you it isn't my fault. I'm innocent. I only did what they told me to do.
Come, I'll take him with me to my interrogator.
Just a moment, Puma. I'd like the president to see what kind of man these traitors are.
President has more important things to do than waste his time on filth like this.
I don't mind, Tuma. This is an unforgivable insult to our visitors. And I'd like to personally hear from this traitor's lips who his fellow conspirators are.
His kind must be given special treatment. My men are experts at it.
He wants to torture me. I know he wants to torture me. Don't let him take me away.
You expect sympathy from me? For up to you, I and all the rest would be burnt cinders in the dust desert.
But I told you, I didn't know.
Can I talk to you for a moment outside, Mr. President? There's something I'd like your opinion on.
Why, of course, Planet Man.
Mr. Minister, will you watch this traitor while we're gone?
You need have no fear. If he tries to escape, I'll burn him down like a Martian vulture.
Oh, no. Whatever you do, keep him alive. If you kill him, we may never find out who the real traitors are.
I'm afraid a fool like this will know nothing.
Nevertheless, he must be kept alive. Come, Mr. President.
I thought you were going to prove Tuma was a traitor.
That's exactly what I hope to do, Mr. President.
But how? He's in there and we're out here.
We'll see in a moment. Come over this way.
What's this?
Well, I've planted a spy mic in your office. If you listen, you may hear something that will surprise you. They're talking now.
I'm sorry. I couldn't help being caught.
What are you talking about?
You know what I mean. I tried to escape, but they caught me.
Are you out of your mind? Why did you tell me this?
No one is here. You don't have to pretend with me. I know you're the real leader.
Leader, pretend. What are you saying, fool?
The messenger you sent, remember?
I sent a messenger?
That's right. A messenger to tell me to meet Noki at the spaceport.
Noki? Who is Noki?
Noki was the man I was sent with to find Danso and the Earth people.
What kind of a story is this? Planet Man tells me you were captured with a party that attacked them in the desert. And you tell me that you were with Noki. Noki was not with that party. He was to lead them, the Planet Men. How could you be in both places?
You see, Mr. President, he begins to give himself away.
Come. Tell me the truth. What is this all about? Why are you here? Were you with Noki or with that party?
I was with Noki.
Wait a minute. Who caught you?
Planet Man.
Planet Man? Where?
In the hidden city of the Dusters.
And where is Noki?
He's still back with the Dusters.
Then how did you get here?
Planet Man brought me.
Planet Man brought you here? Wait, what kind of trick is this? What have you told them? Quick, tell me the truth. This ray gun will put an end to your life once and for all.
Help! Someone help me!
All right, Tuma, drop it. Well, Mr. President, have you heard enough?
Danso's hunch about Tuma, the Minister of Security, being a traitor proved to be right. And now, from the planet of dust, our goodwill throw will blast off shortly for Mercury. We'll be back in a moment. But first, here is a message the Planet Man wants you to hear. Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Dan Troll, the Planet Man. The Planet Man. The Planet Man. This is the fascinating story of Danso, the Planet Man, troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization, the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, You will find Danzo the Planet Man fighting for fair play. In a moment, the Planet Man. You will remember that the Planet Man, Pat, Jane, and Billy Darrow had just uncovered the traitorous plot of Tuma, Minister of Security of Venus, to overthrow the government and barely escape with their lives. Their visit to Venus ended. We find them now about to take off for Mercury, their next stop on their tour of the League of Planets.
Spaceship Planeteer requesting clearance for blast off.
The field is clear, Planet Man. You can blast off at once.
Here we go.
Gosh, I don't think I'll ever get used to blasting off. Every time it happens, it's even more exciting.
Danto, what's Mercury like?
It must be awful hot. It's so close to the sun.
It's on the side that's toward the sun, but the civilization of Mercury is in the twilight zone. Sort of a shadow land between the side that's toward the sun and the side that's away from it.
Will we be able to see?
Oh, certainly. It's like early evening on Earth. It isn't dark and it isn't light.
Kind of like twilight all the time.
Yes, I guess that's what you'd call it on Earth. You'll soon see for yourself.
Well, Slick, you sure turned out to be the wise guy. Big brain. He was going to make a fortune. Just stick with me, he says. We'll throw in with Marston, and when he takes over, we'll really live high. Wasn't enough that we was the most successful space pirates. You and your big ideas.
Why did you stop beefing, Blackie? You thought it looked like a good deal yourself. Besides, we're both in the same boat.
Your boat is right. This tub is going to fall apart in a minute. Here we are drifting in a broken-down, beat-up hunk of freighter 1,000,000 miles from nowhere. I was better off picking pockets in the fairground on Mercury.
Now, look, Blackie, why don't you stop complaining? That doesn't help anything. We'll just sit tight until somebody comes along and picks us up.
Yeah, sure. Somebody like the League Patrol, for instance. That's all we need now. There's 5,000 solar silvers reward for either one of us.
Patrol ships aren't coming around here. They'll be busy clearing up the rest of the boys around Saturn.
You're cleaning up the rest of the boys. What makes you think there's anything left to clean up? The way that League fleet hit us, I don't think anybody got away with us. And the only reason we made it was because this Hulk looks like it's been shot for years. The only thing it's good for is junk. And we're in a junkyard for 20 million miles.
I wish you'd stop yapping. I'm trying to think.
Listen, it was your thinking that got us into this fix in the first place. If you're getting any idea like the last one you had, forget it. Somebody's got to do some thinking. We only got about 4 days' supplies. Yeah, you got any suggestions?
Sure. I don't know if it'll work out, but it's about all we can do.
What's the deal?
Well, our communicator is weak, but it still works. At least enough to reach any ship that comes within 1,000,000 miles of us. And our detectors will show us one does. This old Hulk could be almost anything. I figure we wait, and when a ship comes near, we pretend to be the only survivors of a freighter that's been attacked by pirates. We get them to take us aboard, and then when a chance comes, take over, kick the crew out into space.
It sounds like a great idea. Only suppose no ship comes.
Well, then we'll be a couple of ex-pirates. But stop worrying.
Well, how do you like the trip so far?
Wonderful. Only I can't help worrying about heading right into the sun.
Why should that worry you, Billy?
I remember Captain Allstorm warned me never to get in the gravity of the sun. And we're going to have to get awful close to get next to Mercury.
Don't worry about that, Billy. There's plenty of margin of safety.
It sounds like someone trying to contact us in the space communicator.
It is.
We're not expecting any messages.
Hey, maybe it's a space pirate.
Well, there's not much chance of that. Space pirates don't tell you they're around in advance. Hello, Planeteer. Are you calling, Planeteer? Come in.
Hello. This is Space Freighter Uranus. We're drifting in space. Can you pick us up?
Hello, Space Freighter Uranus. What are you doing in this area? Explain.
We're survivors of an attack by space pirates. Ship is disabled. Life rafts have been destroyed. Will you pick us up?
Stand by. I'll contact you again.
Gosh, imagine that. Pirates out here in space. You think they're still around?
Pirates wouldn't sit around once they raided a freighter.
We're going to pick them up, aren't we?
Of course, we'll have to, Billy.
Will it delay our trip to Mercury?
Well, that's not what I'm worried about. They're actually only a little off our course.
Do you think there's really something wrong?
I'm not sure, Billy, but something doesn't seem quite right. However, we can't pass them up and leave them here in space.
Maybe we can report their position back to headquarters and have a patrol ship pick them up.
That's a good idea, Pat. Planeteer calling Freighter Uranus. Planeteer calling freighter Uranius. Can you hear us?
Come in, Planeteer.
We'll advise the League of your position. Patrol ship should pick you up in a few days.
We've only got provisions for 24 hours. Can't you pick us up now? It may take 3 or 4 days for a patrol ship to reach this point.
Very well. Prepare for contact in about 10 minutes. Well, I guess that settles it. But keep your eyes open. I don't like this at all.
It looks like our friends are in for some interesting excitement. What can two pirates hope to achieve when they realize their rescue ship is being piloted by Danto, the Planet Man? We'll be back in a moment, so level off. When we left Danto and his friends from Earth, they were aboard the Planeteer en route to Mercury. However, they received a message from a space freighter in distress and are speeding to its rescue. Aboard this supposed distressed craft are 2 space pirates named Blackie and Slick, who are waiting to be picked up by our friends.
What's the matter with you, Slicky? You nuts or something?
I know what I'm doing.
You know who that was who was talking? Do you know what ship that is?
I got ears.
That was Planet Man, and that ship's the Planeteer. Nothing in the solar system can stand up against it. You're sticking our heads right into the Marlion's mouth. Why don't you tell him never mind?
Don't be dumb. Once we contacted him, we had to follow through. He knew we were here, and if we hadn't gone through with the plan, he'd have been suspicious. We can't afford not to go ahead.
Yeah, but what are we going to do when he gets here?
Just what we figured. There's no reason why he shouldn't believe us. Whole deal looks right. Besides, just think if we can pull it off, what we can do with this ship. With a Planeteer under us, we can take on any ship in the League and burn them out of space. We'll be able to take our pick of the space freighters and the big luxury jobs, too.
Yeah, if...
Well, it's too late now to worry about it. Just remember our plan and let me do the talking.
Billy, will you take over the airlock controls? The magnetic grapples are right over there, Pat. When I give the signal, throw the switch.
What does that do?
Sends out the magnetic grapples on cables. They clamp on the freighter's hull and bring them together. I want to look that ship over.
Are you going to go alone?
Well, I think I'd better, Pat. I don't want anybody else to take the risk. Besides, I want you here on board the Planeteer if there's any trouble.
What do you want us to do?
If I'm not back in 5 minutes, break contact at once and call the lead patrol.
And leave you aboard that ship alone?
That's the only thing we can do.
Here they come, Slick. I still think it's a rotten idea.
Just stop worrying and do what I told you. Remember, you're supposed to be a survivor. Act like one. You're scared. You're begging for help.
I won't have to act to be scared. I am. Look at my knees shake.
Ready with those magnetic grapples, Pat?
Whenever you say so.
Let them go. Start reeling in.
Here they come. They're alongside now.
All right. Steady. Steady now. Steady. Steady. Are the airlocks together, Billy?
Yep.
Clamp them on.
Right.
Oh, wish me luck. Hello, Uranius. We're alongside. Cut your jet.
Wilco.
Cut ours too, Billy.
Yes, sir. I still wish you'd let me go along.
And no sense arguing about it, Pap. This is the only way. Whatever you do, remember what I told you. I'm not nearly as important as the safety of the space lane.
All right, Danto.
Hello there. I'm coming aboard.
Boy, are we glad to see you. We were sure we were a goner ever since those pirates hit us.
Well, your ship is certainly in bad shape. You're lucky it's still airtight.
Boy, it wasn't when those guys got through with us, but we managed to patch it up. After all, I used to be first engineer.
Used to be. What do you mean? I thought you were first engineer on the Uranius.
Oh, he means the Uranius is cooked. He knows it'll never go anywhere again.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's just suspicious.
I'm not taking any chances. Since Marston was destroyed, the space pirates have been acting up more than ever.
Sure have. They certainly gave us a going over.
Why didn't you use your communicator to notify the League Patrol? If you came all the way in from Saturn, you must have passed an emergency station.
Well, we weren't sure if those guys were following us or not. We were afraid that if we used the communicator, they might realize that we were survivors and finish the job.
But you used your communicator just now. How come?
Well, we were getting desperate. We only had supplies for a day more. Besides, it's so weak, we knew we wouldn't reach any further than our detector, and, well, we could tell it yours was the only ship.
But how did you know I wasn't one of the pirates?
Well, we didn't know, but we didn't have much choice.
I'm due back aboard the Planeteer. I guess you'd better come along, but there's still something about this I don't like. I'll be watching you both, so don't try anything.
Okay, but I'm telling you, we're strictly legitimate.
Strictly legitimate. Words like that coming from a couple of pirates mean only one thing. Trouble. Will Slick and Blackie try to overcome our friends? Or will Janto keep them in check? We'll be back in a moment, but first here is a message the Planet Man wants you to hear. Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Dan Troll, the Planet Man. The Planet Man.
The Planet Man. Planet Man.
This is the fascinating story of Dan Troll, the Planet Man, troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization, the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, you will find Dan Troll, the Planet Man, fighting for fair play. In a moment, the Planet Man. You will remember that Dan Troll, the Planet Man, and our friends from Earth, en route to Mercury, were contacted by two space pirates aboard a disabled ship who pretended to be survivors of a pirate's raid on the freighter. Planet Man, while suspicious, nevertheless has contacted their ship and is aboard checking their story. Pat and the kids are aboard the Planeteer, which is alongside waiting for Danto to get back.
Is it 5 minutes yet, Pat?
Not quite, Jane.
I think I can hear them coming now.
Is that you, Dantro?
It's okay, Pat. All right, Billy, stand by to blast off.
Right.
And Pat, stand by to release the grapples and the airlock.
Yes, Dantro.
We'll be on our way in a minute.
What are you going to do?
I want to pull away a little and then blast that freighter. Oh, by the way, what are your names?
I'm Slick Brock, and he's Blackie Star.
Blackie and Slick, this is Miss Darrow, Billy and Jane Darrow. They're part of the crew. Treat them with respect.
How do you do?
Pleased to meet you. I'm sure we'll get along fine.
Hi. Hello.
All right, Pat, cast off the grappler.
Yes, Dantro.
Hit the outwater, Billy.
Yes, sir.
All right, Billy. Take the controls for a minute. Just hold it steady as it is.
I still don't understand why you're blasting the freighter.
I can't leave it drifting this way in space. Some other ship might run into it. It's not worth salvaging anyway.
Sure isn't. It's an awful sardine can to begin with.
Here goes.
There she goes. So long, Uranius.
Were you part of the crew?
I sure was. I was the engineer, and Slick here was the first mate.
What did the pirates do with the rest of the crew?
I'm afraid they're all dead.
Yeah, they were a great bunch of guys, too. I'll miss them. But that's life.
If there's anything we can do to make ourselves useful on this ship, Planet Man...
No, just stay out of the way and remember what I told you.
Sure. You got nothing to worry about as far as we're concerned.
You know, I think your hunch was right about those two, Dantro. Do you believe them about being attacked by pirates?
It could be. The pirates have been very active in the system for a while now.
You think they're right about the pirates' fleet still being somewhere in this area?
Well, that could be true, too. It's the only reason I haven't advised the League that we've picked them up. Slick says he'd recognize the pirates again if he saw them. Well, he's an important witness. Too important to advertise to the pirates. They're always careful not to leave survivors who might identify them.
What difference does that make?
Well, you see, Jane, while the pirates can attack anywhere in the system, there are a few places where they can go with their stolen wares. If we have a description of them, there's a good chance of our capturing them when they try to get rid of what they've taken. Anyway, we'll be in Mercury soon, and we can turn them over to the League Patrol and let them check their story.
There
you think Planet Man fell for our story about pirates putting some survivors on that asteroid?
I don't know, but we'll find out soon. He's got to make up his mind whether he's going to turn around and head back for the asteroid belt or keep on to Mercury.
Isn't there any other way we can take over the ship?
Our only chance is to get Planet Man and some of the others off onto that asteroid. As long as we're on board the ship, we can't get away with anything. Those two kids are like leeches. I've been trying to save Billy Darrow all morning. Every time I turn around, he's watching me.
I got the same trouble with that kid Jane. She's worse than he is. It's the first time I've been alone since we got on board. And locked in a cabin this way, there's nothing we can do about it.
I have a hunch the Planet Man's going to check that asteroid. One of these law and order guys have a streak of soft-heartedness. He wouldn't want to take the chance of being wrong and having all those people die without at least trying to save them. And when he does, we'll take over.
Have you decided what to do, Dantro?
I'm afraid there's only one thing we can do, Pat, and that's to check the asteroid.
When are we going to turn around?
Well, I've already turned around, Billy. I turned a half hour ago.
You mean we've been going out toward the asteroid all this time and you never said anything?
Well, I'm sorry, Billy. I wasn't trying to keep it from you. It's just that I've been thinking about those two, and I forgot to mention our change of course.
Boy, I certainly have to hand it to you, Slick. You certainly put it over. That Planet Man can't be too smart to swallow that story.
Don't be too cocky, Blackie. We haven't got the ship yet.
Oh, I know, but if they're stupid enough to fall for that line, we shouldn't have any trouble.
Now, just watch yourself and don't give the show away. Those kids have been on our tail constantly. And by the way, watch your grammar. You've been a little sloppy.
Don't worry about me, Slick. I'm watching every word.
Billy, I've been watching Blackie. That doesn't take much work. All he does is sit there and read those comic books we brought along from Earth.
Yeah, I heard him laughing before. I thought that maybe something was wrong. Maybe he got space happy or something. He was sitting all alone in the corner of the lounge roaring to himself. When I saw what he was doing, I couldn't help laughing myself. Boy, is he a dope.
He may not be smart, but he certainly is strong. Did you see those muscles?
Yeah, he's the brawn and Slick is the brain. I think Dantro's right. Slick is the one to watch.
Well, you keep watching him, and I'll bird dog Blackie.
Billy and Jane are apparently convinced that Slick and Blackie are shady characters. Will these two space pirates be able to overpower our friends as they planned? We'll be back in a moment, so level up. When we left our friends on the Planeteer, they were headed for an asteroid that Dantro wanted to investigate en route to Mercury. Aboard the Planeteer are also two disguised space pirates, Slick and Blackie, who hope to overpower our friends in a moment of unpreparedness. Now we find them as they are approaching the asteroid, on which Slick and Blackie said there are some survivors from the pirates' raid.
If our directions were right, we should be about there.
How can you tell which asteroid it is? There must be thousands of them out there.
According to what Slick said, he'd recognize the right one. You better go back and bring them up here now.
They'll be coming for us in a minute now. You sure you know the plan?
Oh, you act like I was stupid. All right. When we land on the asteroid, we'll tell him that the crew was somewhere around.
Yeah.
Naturally, before he lands, he'll go around it with the ship. Of course, he won't see anything because there ain't nothing to see.
Yeah.
We get him to land by saying that maybe they got into a cave or something. Then we take them to that cave we used to hide the loot that time we took the stuff from the Martian freighter we raided.
Okay, then what?
I'll go in first. You'll get them to follow me. And then when they're all in, you'll explode the mine at the entrance where we planted it in case the loot was discovered. And I'll go out that back entrance and do the same.
Yeah.
Boy, ain't it lucky we planted those mines that time. Remember we thought some of the crew might try to double-cross us?
Yeah.
Boy, is Planet Man going to be surprised.
Yeah, okay, you know it. Now, just be sure you don't slip up anywhere. Leave the talking to me and do just what I told you.
Yeah.
Someone's coming.
All right, come on out. Dantro wants you two in the control cabin.
Of course, Miss Darrow, after you.
I appreciate your politeness, but if you don't mind, I'll walk behind.
Gee, you still don't trust us, do you? Gosh, Miss Darrow, we're as innocent as two little lambs.
Mm-hmm. Well, just the same, I'll walk behind.
Don't argue with the lady. Come on. That's it over there, Dantro, that funny-looking one with a bump on its side.
Are you sure that's the right one, Slick?
Well, I can't be certain. After all, I never seen it, but the way I heard that pirate describe it, it couldn't be any other one. It's the only one with that funny thing sticking up like a big nose.
Are we going to land?
No, not right away, Pat. First, we'll make a circuit of the asteroid and see if we can find any signs of life.
So dark, do you think you can see them?
Well, perhaps they've an emergency flare of some kind going. In any case, it's better to circle at a distance and then come in close and drop a few uranium flares. They should give us enough light to see objects as big as people against the rocky surface of that asteroid.
We're getting pretty close.
We'll start circling now. You people keep your eyes open. Slick, you particularly. You know these parts.
Now, don't get me wrong. I don't know anything about this section of the system. It's just that I heard the pirates talking.
Well, in any case, keep a lookout for your friends. Still nothing. Are you sure that this is the right asteroid, Slick?
I can't be certain, but it's the only one that fits the description I overheard.
We're going to have to land, then.
On that little rock?
Are you sure it's safe?
On the rock is safe enough. It has practically no gravity, and there's plenty of room for landing. When we drop those flares, I could see a lot of flat surfaces.
Will we all go looking?
Well, I think that's the best idea, Jane. I want us all together.
Can't Billy and I stay here, Dantro?
Well, all right, Jane, if that's what you want to do. Slick and Blackie, you two stay in front of us every minute.
Don't worry, Planet Man. You can trust us.
Yeah, sure, like I said, we're as innocent as two little lambs.
Billy, can I talk to you for a minute?
Sure, Jane.
I didn't like this at all, Billy. I think they're up to something. I was afraid of what might happen if we all left the ship.
What can you do? You spoiled our chances of getting on the asteroid. What are you up to?
Well, here's my idea.
What is Jane's idea to stop Slick and Blackie? What will Dantro and Pat find on this mystery asteroid? What will Slick and Blackie have up their sleeve? We'll be back in a moment, but first, here is a message the Planet Man wants you to hear. Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventure. Rocket millions of light years into space with Dantro, the Planet Man. The Planet Man. The Planet Man. This is the fascinating story of Dantro, the Planet Man, troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization, the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, you will find Dantro, the Planet Man, fighting for fair play. In a moment, the Planet Man. As you remember, Planet Man and Pat are about to explore the surface of an asteroid, searching for survivors of a pirate attack. With them are two so-called survivors they have rescued in space, who are actually space pirates planning to do away with our Earth friends and Planet Man and take over the Planeteer. Billy and Jane, suspicious of the two pirates, have remained aboard the Planeteer as Dantro, Pat, and the pirates, Slick and Blackie, lead.
It certainly is weird out here. I've never seen anything like it before.
Like something out of a bad dream.
Come on over this way. Maybe they're in this direction.
Haven't we covered that area?
Not all of it. We came up from the other side of that cliff, but we didn't look down the bottom here.
Okay, we'll try that direction, but it doesn't look like your friends are here.
Gee, I wonder what they did with them.
I have a hunch that they've been taken care of.
Gosh, you think so? That'd be awful.
If what I'm thinking happened, it might not be so awful.
I know what you have in mind.
Hey, look, there's a cave or something over here.
Yeah, look, do you suppose maybe...
Suppose what?
Blackie was thinking the same thing I was. Maybe they went into the cave.
What will they do that for?
Well, maybe the batteries of their spacesuits got low and they got cold. Down there in the cave, they might conserve the heat and make the batteries last longer.
Well, we'll soon find out. Now, pound down the rock here with this bar. If they're there, that should bring them out.
I can't hear anything.
No, you won't unless you put your helmet to the ground. There's no air to carry the sound, but If they're down in the cave, they'll feel the vibration.
Unless they're unconscious.
Why should they be unconscious?
Well, maybe their air supply is low. They only had 3 days and it's almost up. Could be it ran out quicker than we thought.
Yeah, maybe we better go in and take a look.
Maybe you better go. I think we ought to stay here, Dantro. I don't like this setup at all.
I think the safest thing to do is take one of them with us and leave the other outside. There's not much he can do, and we'll have one of them along just in case they have some trick in mind.
You sure are suspicious. We're on the level, honest. I'll go with you. That should prove it.
One of you will. I don't care which one. Come on, let's get over with.
Okay, this way.
Shine your torch around, Dantro. This is an awfully big cave.
It's big, and it looks like someone's been here. Maybe they were telling us the truth.
I don't know. Those rations look as though they'd been here a long time.
Blackie, where are you? Pat, are you all right?
What's happened?
I don't know how he did it, but Slick blasted the entrance to the cave.
Where's Blackie?
Oh, he was here a minute ago. There he goes. Look, there's another tunnel in the back. Duck after him.
I'm right behind you.
No, wait. Stand back. Look out, Pat. Pat, get down, quick.
Any signs of them on your side?
No, they should be back by now.
Do you think something's happened?
Try to get them on the communicator.
Okay. Hello? Hello? Jane Darrow calling Planet Man. Jane Darrow calling Planet Man. Are you there?
No answer?
I don't like this.
Come on.
Where are you going?
Out to look for them.
That's not a good idea.
Why not?
Planet Man has the weapons locked away, and once we get outside the ship, there's no telling what'll happen. I think the only thing we can do is sit here on board and wait.
But Pat and Dantro may need help.
I know it, Billy, but I'm afraid we'll just have to sit tight.
Gotta hand it to you again, Slick. It worked just the way you planned it.
Quiet.
What's the matter?
It's the kids. They may pick us up on the contactor, and we've got to get on board that ship somehow before they get wise.
We changed the frequency.
Sure, but they're pretty smart kids and may get the same idea. Now just follow me and get alongside that lock and keep quiet. Sooner or later, the kids will come out, and when they do, we'll nab them.
You don't think they'll have any blasters, do you?
Planet Man locked them up. He had the key with him. Now keep quiet. Be ready.
Okay, Slick.
What are we going to do, Jane? Just sit here and wait?
Oh, look, I know how you feel. I feel the same way. But there's nothing else we can do.
But maybe they're in trouble. Maybe they need help.
Yes. And maybe those two, Slick and Blackie, are just waiting for us to stick our heads outside the ship.
We can't just sit here forever.
Look, I told you. It's not safe.
Well, I don't care about you, Jane. You do whatever you want. But I'm going out to see what's happened.
Billy, you're making a mistake.
So I'm making a mistake. How can you sit there and talk about mistakes when Pat and Dantro may be hurt and need our help?
All right, Billy, if that's the way you feel.
Are you coming too?
You don't suppose I'd let you go out there alone, do you? But listen, watch your step and be ready to get back to the ship. At least here we're safe and we can always radio the lead patrol.
Maybe we ought to do that now.
No, we still can't be sure about the pirates, and this would be no time to bring them here.
Okay, let's go then if we're going.
I'll help you into your spacesuit, and then you can help me with mine.
Billy and Jane seem to be walking right into the trap set for them by Slick and Blackie. Will Billy and Jane be off guard? What has happened to Dantro and Pat? We'll be back in a moment, so level up. When we left Billy and Jane, they were about to leave the Planeteer and look for Dantro and Pat, who they think might have been ambushed by Slick and Blackie. Waiting for them to come out of the Planeteer are Slick and Blackie.
Slick, I think I hear the airlock control. Okay, Blackie, be ready.
Remember, watch your step.
Okay, Blackie, grab him.
Billy, look out!
Jane!
I got the kid, Slick. I got the girl. Drag him back on board. Why don't we just leave him here? I've got other plans for him. Come on, let's get going. I want to get out of here.
You're the boss.
Are you okay, Pat?
If you can call it that. What's happened?
I was such a fool, I should have suspected something like this.
Are we trapped?
They must have had mines planted at both ends of this cave. There are hundreds of tons of rock between us and the outside.
Have you tried to contact the kids?
The vibrations from the explosions must have shattered the crystals in these spacesuit communicators. I can't get any response.
I wonder what's going to happen to them.
I only hope they're smart enough to stay on board the Planeteer. Say, I'll bet that was Jane's idea. Slick and Blackie have no way of getting in, and as long as the kids just sit tight, they're safe enough.
If I know them, they won't sit tight for long.
That's what I'm thinking about. Sooner or later, they're going to go looking for us, and Blackie and Slick will be waiting for them to do just that.
Isn't there some way that we can warn them?
It may be too late already, Pat. Our first problem is to get out of this cave if we can.
You take your hands off her, you rotten space pirate.
Don't worry, Billy. He can't hurt me.
Shut up, you brats.
All right, Blackie, leave him alone now. That's enough.
What's the matter? You getting soft-hearted? These are the kids who made us miserable, following us around like a couple of Venusian bloodhounds. Why don't we just dump them out the port and get rid of them?
Because I've got other plans for him, Blackie.
You said that before. What are you talking about?
We're not in the clear yet, Blackie. You never know whether the League Patrol will start to wonder where Planet Man is and send out some ships to look for him.
With the stuff we're packing on this planet here, who cares about the League Patrol?
There's no sense getting into a fight if we can avoid it.
What's that got to do with these two brats?
With them aboard, no patrol ship is going to try and blast us. We'll keep them as hostages until we get out near Saturn. And then you can do what you want with them as far as I'm concerned.
You don't frighten us.
You better shut up.
He's not worth wasting words on, Billy.
Take them back and lock them in the cabin they had us in. I don't want them running loose around the ship.
Listen, Pat, there's one chance. I hope it works.
What are you going to do?
I have my heat ray projector. That rock should melt at about half power. Gives us about 10 minutes to burn through. A lot depends on what kind of rock that is.
Do you think we have a chance?
One break we did get. I think the rock is a soft formation of some kind. If it was as hard as most of the stuff composing these asteroids, you couldn't make a dent with a hand projector. With this stuff, I think it's about 50-50.
Well, the sooner we get out of here, the better I'll feel.
Stand back.
Sure I did it. I told you I could short-circuit that lot. Now, come on, let's get out of here. Where are we going? To the communications room. If we get a message off to the patrol, we still get back to the asteroid for Dantro and Pat. Come on, let's get to the communicator fast. Can I help? You just watch the door to see if they're coming. I know how to work this set. Planet Man showed me, just to be safe, because we had trouble last time when we swiped that scout ship from Marston.
Okay, Billy, but you'd better hurry.
Just let me throw this switch.
What's that, Billy?
Those pirates set some kind of an alarm on this communicator. Come on, let's get out of here.
Hurry!
Billy had a good idea, but Slick and Blackie were one step ahead of him. What can the two kids do now? What will Slick and Blackie do? We'll be back in a moment, but first, here is a message the Planet Man wants you to hear. Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Dantro, the Planet Man. The Planet Man. The Planet Man. This is the fascinating story of Dantro, the Planet Man, troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization, the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, you will find Dantro, the Planet Man, fighting for fair play. In a moment, the Planet Man. remember that the two space pirates, Blackie and Slick, had trapped Dantro the Planet Man and Pat Darrow in a cave on a deserted asteroid and stolen the Planeteer with Billy and Jane Darrow aboard as hostages. Billy managed to short-circuit the lock on the cabin in which the pirates had imprisoned him and Jane. But when the kids went to communicate with Elite Patrol, an alarm on the communicator brought Blackie and Slick to the scene. Billy and Jane are trying to escape the pirates.
This way, Jane. Follow me. Don't worry, Billy. Just you run. I'm right behind you. If we can keep ahead of them, we may make it.
I can hear them coming. Where are we headed?
Forward.
Forward? But that's where they are.
Not now, they aren't. They're chasing us. If we can get them to head around toward the stern of the ship and then slip by, we may have a chance.
What are you talking about?
Don't ask so many questions. Just run. They're catching up to us.
There they go, Slick. Come on.
You go that way.
What are they going down there for? They're right ahead of us.
I know it. You keep after them while I try to slip around and get in front of them.
Yeah, that's using your head up. Go on.
Hurry, Jane!
No, you don't, lady. I don't know how you two got out of that cabin, but this time we're not going to take any chances. Come on, Blackie.
Are we going to throw them out the spaceport now, Slick?
Just be patient, Blackie. You'll get your chance when we're away from the lead patrol lanes. Right now, they're still useful to us as hostages.
Where are we taking them?
To that cabin in the rear, the one with the outside locks. I noticed it before when we were checking the ship. I don't know what it was used for, but they'll never get out of there.
Well, let's get them in. I hate the sight of them.
Are you almost through, Dantro?
I hope so, Pat. We've only got a couple of minutes charge left in this heat projector. Wait, I think we're breaking through now.
I can see some stars.
Pat, we made it. Give it a minute to cool, and then we'll be able to get out.
What then?
Go back to the ship if it's still there. If not, we'll try to work out some way of signaling for help.
Even if our communicators are working, their range is only a few hundred miles. They won't be much good, will they?
I'm not sure how we'll do it, but we'll worry about that once we're out. Come on, the rock's cool enough now.
Billy, do you have any ideas?
I've been looking at that bulkhead. You notice that round section that's raised?
Where?
Right over there. I think it's an emergency gadget of some kind.
What do you mean?
Well, Dantro told me that one of the special things about this ship is the fact that its hull is double. There's an inner and outer hull with a space between them. That way, most of the cables and control equipment are in the hull. Leaves a lot of room inside the ship. I think that's some kind of an entrance to the space void.
Well, even if you could get it off, what could you do?
Well, maybe there's enough room between the two hulls to crawl around. I may be able to find some way of getting out into another part of the ship. Come on, give me a hand. See if we can move that section.
What do you want me to do?
You just hold that projection on the bottom there. Right over there. That thing that's sticking out. I'll grab this top one and we'll see if we can turn it.
It's not moving, Billy.
Let's try again.
It's moving, Billy. It's moving.
All right, don't talk. Let's try and get it all the way. Don't let it fall, Jane. Look out. Now you've done it. Oh, I'm sure they heard that.
I couldn't help it. It was too heavy for me to hold.
It wasn't your fault. Well, I just hope they don't come back to check.
You hear a sound a minute ago, Slick.
Will you stop worrying about those kids?
I think you should listen to me and dump them out the port before they get us into trouble.
Blackie, let me do the thinking. There's nothing they can get into back there. You check the cabin with me, those locks on the outside of the door would hold a Martian bull.
Yeah, but you don't know how tricky they are.
Well, tricky or not, that cabin will hold them. Now let's talk about our plans.
All right. How far out towards Saturn do you think we are, Slick?
Let's see. It's been 27 hours since we left the asteroid. That should make it about halfway. With any sort of a break, we'll reach the rings of Saturn in about 24 hours more. Once we get there, we can contact the guys that are left of the pirate fleet to meet us and then just lay low and wait.
Yeah, when we get through, the first thing I'm going to do is dump those kids.
When we get there, Blackie.
Gosh, this is the deal we've been hoping for years. There isn't a ship in the solar system that'll dare attack the Planeteer. This thing has more weapons and speed than the whole League Patrol put together. Just those two sonic projectors alone are enough to disrupt the whole city.
That's just what I have in mind, Blackie. Our first target is going to be Marsopolis on Dymas.
That's one of those 2 moons of Mars, ain't it?
That's right. We'll sit out there a million miles in space and tell them that if they don't send off 10 cargo ships loaded with anything that's valuable, we'll turn that sonic projector on it, and those sound rays will reduce the whole city to a pile of dust and 500,000 Martians with it.
Slick and Blackie are shooting for some big things. Can Billy and Jane do anything to stop these vicious space pirates? We'll be back in a moment, so level up. When we left the Planeteer, it was being piloted by the 2 space pirates, Slick and Blackie, who were on their way to join some other pirates and then raid 2 of the moons of Mars. Also aboard are Billy and Jane, who are attempting to stop these 2 thugs. We find Billy and Jane as they are preparing to work their way around the inner spaces of the Planeteer's hull.
Billy, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Jane.
Is there room enough for you to move around?
Yeah, it's a good thing I'm not much fatter. I can just about make it.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to crawl up forward and see if there's some way out of this hole. Do you think you can lift that cover?
Why?
Well, you're going to try to get it back on again in case those 2 characters come back here to check.
But they'll still know you're gone, Billy.
Yes, but they looked the cabin over and they didn't spot this emergency port before. They might miss it. I'm going to screw this down tight now. If I want you to help me get it off, I'll tap 3 times.
Slick, I can see myself now, rolling into Venusport just loaded with loot. We'll own the town. And they'll never suspect that we're the guys who have the Planeteer.
Now, don't spend it yet, Blackie, not until we have it.
The way you set it up, what can go wrong? Except what? I can't help worrying about those 2 brats. Let's go back and check.
Okay. If it'll shut you up, it's worth the effort. Let's go take a look.
No sign of the ship, Dandro. They must have gotten Billy and Jane somehow.
Looks like you're right, Pat. The ship's gone. And I'm afraid it's been gone for some time.
They're probably millions and millions of miles away by now.
Kids will be safe enough for a while.
How can you be so sure of that?
Slick is a pretty smart character. He knows that as long as he has those 2 aboard, he's safe from attack by the League Patrol. Until he's well away, he's not going to hurt them. They're worth too much to him alive.
What are we going to do now?
I don't know, Pat. Let's look around. Maybe there's something we've overlooked. Don't give up yet.
Billy, are you there? They're coming back to the cabin. Billy, why don't you answer? Billy!
What'd I tell you, Slick? That brat is gone. Where's your brother?
I don't know. He just disappeared.
What do you mean he disappeared?
I was sleeping, and when I woke up, he was gone.
She's lying, Slick. Why do you even bother to talk to her? Let's dump her and then find him and dump him, too. That's the only way we'll ever be sure they're not up to something.
Keep quiet, Blackie. How could he have gotten out of here? Those locks are all in place.
Well, maybe there's another door someplace.
We went over this place before. There isn't any door. He must have gotten those bolts open somehow and then closed them behind him.
I'll find out what happened. Come here, you.
Leave me alone, you big bully.
Turn her loose, Blackie.
All right. But I still say you ought to let me take care of things my way. You're too soft.
Billy, where are you? Oh, I hope nothing's happened.
Well, there's nothing on this asteroid that we can use to send a signal that's clear enough. Unless we can make a mold and melt that quartz rock into it with the charge that's left in my heat ray projector. And then back it up with something that will reflect the light.
Oh, I get it now. A tremendous mirror. We could send an SOS out to space with it. We used to do that back on Earth when I was a kid.
We need something shiny for the back, though, Pat. I wonder...
I know just what you're thinking about, my silver charm bracelets. Okay, I guess I'll get some use up here after all.
Jane, can you hear me? Billy. Wait, I'll help you open the hatch.
Ooh. Oh, it get cold there next to the outer hull.
Is there a way out?
No, but I think I know how to take care of those 2 crooks. And maybe even get back to Dantro and Pat.
It looks like Billy's agile hand is going to give Slick and Blackie something more to worry about. Will Slick and Blackie be off their guard? What will be Dantro's luck in trying to set up a light signal for help? We'll be back in a moment, but first, here is a message the Planet Man wants you to hear. Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Dantro, the Planet Man. The